Hello, new recruits of the 7th LA. This is SgtMaj.Twista here. I'm kind of gonna do like a brief overview of just Warwright's main menu. Okay, just some kind of tool and tips to kind of help you navigate the menu. Okay, so when you load up Warwrights for the first time, you will see this on the top left. You'll see your name in game, so your name in the game, your Steam picture, and then the level you are in the game. Okay, then you got the server browser, your options, tutorials that are in the game, which when you click on it, it'll take you to a website, I believe. So usually you don't really have to worry about that. I don't think the tutorials are a huge help, but there you go. Then you got customized character, which when you click on it, we'll let it load for a second so we can show you. You can customize your characters on each side. Now, not every regiment that's in the game are in here. Okay, it's only ones that they've added the ability to be customized. So there's way more regiments in this game than what's on this list that you can play in skirmish. Sometimes you can never customize them. So just as a kind of a fun fact for you. Then you got replays, which replays, all they are is that they are the replay of, we'll just do Hill's counterattack from one of the last Friday events. All it is the replay of the battle casualties. That's all it is. But instead, it shows the whole game, or about the whole game, in this little menu here, like what you see at the end. I'll let it run for a second. Because I believe even when this line goes right here, it still just runs. No, it does not. So, it only replays some of the battles, it seems like. It's just interesting, but it will still replay that. So, and it'll tell you the time, the date, and everything. So, then you go to Encyclopedia, which it doesn't have it on there at the moment. Then there's their credits that tell you everything, who made the game and all that. Then you got exit game, obviously, exit the game. Bottom right is the Warwright's, website, then their Discord, their Facebook, their Twitter, and then this is where the updates usually go, the newest ones, and it tells you every single thing they've added for the newest one. Yeah, kind of overview of the basic menu. First thing you want to do though, when you ever come in this game, and you want to start playing it, you'll hit options and it'll bring you here. Mouse sensitivity, we recommend having this from like 10, from like 8 to 10, 8 to 12, just because the more sensitive your mouse is, the more your gun moves when you're aiming. So I keep mine around 8.5. It really does help your aim. Field of view 65, because when you take an aim and you aim in, you can see farther away. Yes, does it degrade your field of view? Yes, but that's why you have free look, so you can look around. You can use 65 as kind of an advantage to it's kind of like a scope. You're really zoomed in. All this other stuff, except for auto free look, turn that off. You always want that off. Everything else is subject for you to change and all that. And then you got down here where you use your Steam name. That means the name that you have on Steam, or you'll hit choose. Now, if you're ever changing your tags in game, which we have a video to do that, do choose, please. And these right here are brackets that are, that's not what it actually looks like. You can see on the top left when you go back to the main menu. So, second thing we'll go to is graphics. So, you want to make sure it's on the resolution that you have it as. You can either make it windowed or full screen. I usually keep my full screen. I just say borderless anyway. Now these are pretty much all up to you, what's up to your PC. I usually turn the max, if you're ever having issues with your PC, try to change the corpses on the battlefield maybe to like 25 or something, and some of these textures and all that. So yeah. Then you go to sound. This is a big important one. You want to have your sound between 20 to 30. We recommend 30, but I have been turning mine down, up and down, just because due to in-game stuff. And then you got music volume. You want that down to 17. Really, the only reason why you have that up is just so that you can hear the battle stages change. Voice chat volume all to 150. You want to hear those people in the game, because usually you hear our sergeants and corporals trying to help you in game and all that. You want to be able to hear that. Then your voice capture device, you want to put it on a device that you use. You can have it on default. If you ever have issues where it doesn't seem like it's picking your mic up, change it to the one that you want it as, change it back to default, or vice versa, and make sure you hit save changes at the bottom right to change it around. Okay. Voice chat reception, this is global, and then you have faction that you have disabled. I either recommend keep it out on faction if you don't really care about hearing the enemy or anything like that, or if you don't like getting yelled at constantly by the enemy or something, they put it on faction. If you're a runner, if you're trying to hear the enemy, if you're trying to find out where they are, you want to keep it in global. Tinnitus thing, that's just up to you if you want to keep it on or off. Then we'll go to key bindings. There's really nothing to mess around here. There's really nothing you can use or really need to change other than so here's your melee mode, and here's melee, and then I think, oh, I'm sorry, but you have melee mode. I have it as my mouse button. You can change it to whatever you want. It's usually V for violence. That's usually the keybind for it. And then you got voice chat, push to talk, which I have it as the other mouse button. These are two that you probably want to change because they're kind of in weird positions and they're kind of uncomfortable sometimes, but I would change those if I was you. Really nothing else here, but I kind of just will go over it. There you go. Next thing is user interface. This is the other big one. You want to have your highlight friends, highlight company to yes. This means that your friends will be green if you're friends with them on Steam. Okay, so that means you can pick out your friends a lot faster in battles. If you highlight your company, that means that your company will be a straight white, like pure white when you look at them. That's how you know that they're in your company, because if they're just gray, like a dark gray, that means you're not in your company, but they're still they're on your team. They're just not in your company in the game. Name tag size, I keep mine about around 2. I think that's the default. You can turn it up. It doesn't extend the distance where you see the name tag. It just makes the size of the name tag bigger. So when even though you'll run in the same distance, so when you run in about like 20 yards or something like that, you'll see the name tag. Either way, it's just how big it is. The chat, profanity filter, I usually just keep it on racial slurs for video purposes. That means if people say some naughty words in there, it automatically censors it for me. And then you got visibility, so you got your chat, which I keep it on timer, or you can turn it off if you don't ever care to go into chat. That doesn't mean that you can't go into chat. When you hit enter, you just won't see it unless you do that. And then you got compass display mode. I keep this one on always, because it will also keep the battle stage up there with the compass. Very good. World icon is like spawns. If you're in the drill camp, it's kind of like where the flags are, and like the bayonet training, like add the swords in the air, that kind of stuff. Game information, that is your bottom right. That is like what company you're in, what weapon you're carrying, what's your rank in that company, how fast you're going, and what rifle position. You got name tag display mode. Yes, always keep this either on always or timer. If it's on timer, that means you have to press T to see the stuff. If you put it on always, that means that you always see it no matter if you press T or not. Alright, then you'll just hit save changes on the bottom right. Once you're done with everything, you'll go back to the main menu. Now we'll go to server browser. So they'll always show the most the server with the most people in it on the very top. Okay, you can go to the right. This is the search bar. I usually, if I want to find the drill camp, I'll put like 7th, and then it'll show the drill camp to the left here. Now you can show, you can click on high empty servers, high passworded, what type of maps they are, what type of game mode they are, and then you can just hit refresh at the bottom. Okay, now with the late drill, because it just showed that I was in there. I'll give it another go here. I don't know, it could be the server's down, I'm not sure. And it's making my PC bug. Okay, I think we made it this time. That was weird. Never had to do that to me, okay. Alright, so Usually when you load into a regular match, it'll show you the Union on the right side, CSA on the left. You'll pick a side, and then it'll take you either into this if there's artillery on the map, and then you'll hit regiment and class on the bottom left. Alright. Usually it only shows 4 companies, depending on the map, 4 or 3, that you can choose from. Okay, usually 2 company A's and 2 company B's, or it's either 1 company and then a company A and company B. Alright. So it'll be 1 company, or it'll be 1 regiment, but it's 2 companies of each, right? So now the one that we use in game is on page 9, 6 Louisiana, company A. Alright, this is the company we use in game. You can use this to go to different pages, and I believe there is 13. Yeah, 13 pages. You go to that. Once you click on the company you want, and you click on the one of these slots that you want and the rank of the NCO. Now I'll go through these real quick. Now these are just some musicians. They can play all different music. They don't really do anything else but that. Then you got the private, just regular private, nothing special. He's just a regular rifleman in the line. And then you got the flag bearer that holds the flag. Now if he dies, he drops the flag. You can't drop the flag for any other reason unless you die. It spawns you as like a color sergeant, I believe, or something like that. And then you got NCO, which you got corporal, sergeant, first sergeant, which none of these really change anything. Sometimes NCOs have sharps rifle depending on the company, or they have buck and ball, and the privates don't. Depends on the company. The one that changes is sergeant major. It gives you an NCO sword, so you can have a sword along with your rifle. Sometimes it can also give you that same rifle that the other NCOs carry. There is some games where the corporals only will carry sharps. It just depends on the company. It's kind of funny. And then you got the officer. Now, what really doesn't change, unless if you're on CSA side, you don't get the Lamats until one of these ranks right here. I believe it's the last rank right here that you get Lamats. The rest of them don't really matter. They don't really change the pistol. The only one that adds a pistol is one of these ranks. And you also get a start with that. But we're going to spawn as my rank for now with my rifle. Once you pick what you want, you click on it, then you'll hit deploy. So you go into deployment menu here. You got the flag deployment, and then you got infantry deployment. The difference is that if there's a flag running around out here on the map, no matter where it is, along its formation or skirmishing, you'll get a second time, you'll get a countdown to deploy on it right here. Now the reinforcements incoming, that means how many other people that are spawning in with you. Now for the flag, if it's above 5 people, the spawn time can go for like 2 or 3 minutes sometimes, depending on how many people are on it. That's why you want to try to keep flag 5 or below, because usually that'll keep the 10-second deployment phase pretty going. Everybody will at least spawn in every 10 seconds on the flag instead of every like 30 seconds if it's above 5. Pretty cool stuff. But I'm going to hit deploy here, infantry deployment, and I'll spawn at the actual infantry deployment for CSA. Now, when you press T, you'll see that my compass is always staying up, but when you press T, that's how you see the world icons in the air that we were talking about earlier, right? And then you'll see the game information on the bottom right. It goes from speed, rifle position, what company you're in, what rank you have in that company, your weapon, and if you're out of line, skirmishing, or in formation. Okay, which that will be in the other video if you want to learn what that means. And then you got melee mode. That's what that looks like, and all that. It's pretty simple stuff. That's how you pretty much start your adventure in war rights. Everything else is really, you just gotta learn on the go. There's things that you'll learn the longer you play this game, and the better you'll get at it. But that is all from me, gentlemen. I appreciate you watching. You have a good day now.